All right, all right. What's up, yo?
What's good?
We are back with another episode of TTalks. And if you haven't noticed, we're a little bit earlier than our regular green room time. Yeah, we just wanted to give a couple of announcements. I don't know if you guys heard yet, but we are doing a graduation giveaway along with other Palawan artists that you may have seen on TikToks. If you haven't, go check it out. Those were our earlier shows, and basically those who started the foundation to the TikTok show. I want to shout out Tavo, the author of In Between Seasons. You can find his book on Amazon or follow him on In Between Seasons on IG. We also have Olokoi sauce. Hey, shout out to Julie. Make sure you check out her website, olokoi.com. We also have Shay Colorway. You can check her out on Instagram. And she also has a shop as well, shaycolorway.com. Shout out to Kai of Hello Palawan. She also has her online clothing shop, hellopalawan.com. She's got some new merch, that graffiti Hello Palawan tee.
Hella
Make sure you
clean.
cop yours. We have yet to cop ours, babe. So just
We gotta get that graphic tee one.
yes, and not last
Graffiti,
but
I
not
mean.
least, you'll be seeing him next week Tuesday. We have Jerry Bedor Phillips, aka Jerryfish103 on IG. Make sure you check him out. He's actually the artist behind the binded book of In Between Seasons, that special edition. If you got it in a special casing. All right. Yes, and it is now 9:49. Let's welcome Nomi Ongeu, Tarimel of Omra.com. The green room, make sure you guys shout him out. What's up,
What's
bro?
good? He's muted.
Oh, you want to turn on your side muted or my side muted? You. Unmute. There we go.
I'm muted again.
Oh.
I think you muted.
Oh wait, did we do it at the same time?
Yeah.
My bad, I do that.
Yeah.
Hey, we figured it out, man. Thank you so much. And yeah, dude, look, we got some people who already hopped on. Thank you guys for joining in. This is the green room, where you get to know us a little bit better, one on one. The bloopers, anything goes.
Warm up.
The prelude. Hey, what's up, Mutaang? What's up, Tommy Fam? He said, hey, yo, what's good, man? Shistren.
Sending love.
Yes. Is there anybody you want to shout out? Even if they're not right here right now, maybe they'll tune in a little later.
Oh, me? Like, shout out?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, shout out to my fam. If they're upstairs right now watching this,
Yeah.
shout out to all the clown businesses out there. You guys inspire me in doing what I'm doing. So all love to you guys. Yeah, just shout out to our community, just doing really big things. Like, I'm just super proud and inspired.
Right. Oh, what is that? What you got there? I see something blue on the.
Oh,
shirt.
well, this is my necklace right here to Ongeu, because that's my name.
I love it.
You gotta have
And then this is one of my products, my shirt that I've been that I
Hey,
made.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
dope. Can we cop that on the website now?
what was that?
Can we cop that on the website?
Yeah. So I did a pre-order window. But if anyone still wants to buy stuff, they can. You'll just have to get it at a later date. But I'm
Okay.
hoping to get it bigger someday so that I have a lot more in stock, a lot more colors, a lot more designs.
Nice.
That is the hope. Yeah.
sweet. It's getting there.
Yeah.
Only time.
Oh.
Dude,
But this necklace was from my auntie back in Palau.
nice.
When I visited back in 2017, I told her I saw this at the night market, and I was like, man, I really want this. But it was like $180. I was like, I'm not gonna pay $180. And her and my uncle like looked over the island for an artist just to get the pendant, and then they gave it to me for my birthday.
Wow,
Um,
that's what's
yeah,
up.
so yeah, so I've worn it ever since. It's signifies me and reminds me to continue steering my own wheel.
For
What's up,
sure.
Wiz?
What's
Yeah,
up, Wiz Fire?
For sure.
That's dope.
That's really
So
cool.
who's the vendor who made the ongeu?
I do not know. I wish I knew. I don't know who made the Ongeu. But whoever it is really great at it. So if you're watching this right now and you made something like this,
Yeah,
I would hit me up on Facebook or Instagram. I just want to give you a huge shout out.
Right.
This is I'm glad they made it to the airport, if you know what I mean.
Hey, right. It adds value to it. The traveling
Yeah,
adds value to it.
uh,
Ilam namang
just like
taal.
Has balance.
So you were telling me earlier that you might have two spontaneous guests pop in at any point.
yes, please. Most of us are at Tarimel, Ratu. So, um, right now they're sleeping. So hopefully they'll stay asleep throughout this. But if you see something jumping behind my back, don't be freaked out. It's not a ghost.
Don't be surprised.
Is that a ghost?
Yeah,
For sure.
I
Hey,
know.
shout out to Okami Hilton. That's she
SoCal.
said she said hello from SoCal. So I was trying to look at the profile pic. It's literally a O. That's what's up. Tuning in from YouTube. What's up, David?
Hey, what's up, sis?
Um,
What's up, Lisa?
man, I just want to say thank you because we extended the time, and so now I'm like recalculating. I was like, oh, this means a lot of like um scheduling because we got to work around other people. So thank you so much for making time for us. And yeah, man, how was your day?
Oh man, it was busy. I'll get into my career in a little bit, but it
Yeah.
was just a long day. I actually scheduled a massage for tonight, like earlier this evening. And I kind of almost forgot, and they sent me a text message. I was like, "Oh shoot, that's today." And so I drove over and then got a massage, and it felt
Nice.
really good. So I'm like full of high spirits right
Relax.
now. Yeah,
I'm also, yeah, that's one of those things that you gotta, sometimes you just gotta take care or make time for yourself and just take care of yourself.
oh,
You,
No,
you
for
I
know,
real.
know that.
Nah,
Yeah, that's self care.
nah, you can't keep going. Yeah.
instead of going, for me, I mean, I think at this point, instead of going out, I'd rather, go do some self care, relax,
Yeah, for
R&R.
sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
do some
So,
meditation.
Yeah.
hmm
Hey guys, thank you
so
guys for tuning in. We are in the green room. Show some love, drop some hearts, drop some flames
Drop
in the
that
comment
fire.
sections. If you're tuning in from YouTube, if you're tuning in from Facebook, you watch this later. And I just want to say shout out to all the Palawan artists, Island Pacific Islander artists. If you guys tune in or if
Notice
you
you.
tapped in and starting to check out the show, reach out, man. We want to get you on so we can interview you guys.
Oh, for real.
You know,
Keep it going. Keep spreading the love.
yeah.
The more they know, the more they can support. So, say each one, teach one, and push one, and then we gonna get up there.
let's
So, for real.
go.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about
Yeah.
promoting and marketing. You know what I'm saying? If they don't know, they can't support because they don't know where to go to get it.
For real.
So
Yo,
shout out to
I'm
everyone that is tuned in. Lord support, that Lord repost, that Lord share. Because it
Yeah.
helps. It all helps. Either ham ka rin lusud ra adat mong rang ringira o trul mga rang like it all helps. It all helps.
Nice. Hey, shout out to Leaf Arrow, Aloko, Camet Falls, Oregon here.
Hey,
Shout out to Irvin. He seems much love. What's up, bro? What's up, Ansai Santiago? What's up, Ansai? Yeah. Um, so I just wanted to recap. If anybody's just tuning in, we have a graduate giveaway. We extended the date, and we're working in collaboration with other Palawan artists who are around, the states, and
on the way to Hawaii.
yeah, and we want to shout out Tabol of In Between Seasons, author of In Between Seasons. Make sure you check him out on
Check it
IG.
out.
Hello Palawan. Connie of Hello Palawan, hellopalawan.com, Olokoy Sauce, Chick Colorway, and Jerryfish 103. Make sure you guys go check them out. Yeah, we're putting together some prizes, and the top 5 best art pieces to interpret Ako Ta'a Belao will win a prize. And how it's gonna go is you create your piece, what Ako Ta'a Belao means to you, DM it to ourselves at 680 MVMT IG or one of the sponsors that I mentioned earlier, and you'll see their names up in here at some point on the ticker. But yeah, send your art piece over, and on the 20th. So
Today's-
June 20th,
Wait.
we'll I
Yeah.
think they said the end of June, and I'll give you a date on the next TTalks. The end of June, we're going to be doing a live show with the participants. So if you DM your artwork, we're gonna bring you on, and you're gonna tell us a little bit about your piece and what inspired your piece and what it means to you. And we're gonna do a live voting poll in the comments. Yeah.
See who wins.
Yep,
So
yep.
best of luck. Let's say put in work and no pressure.
Yep. This is for the graduates. Whether you're graduating from Head Start, you're graduating from at 8th grade, you're promoting from 8th grade, whether you're graduating from high school or college, you are more than welcome to join. So wal balugula ako ta other belaw sangara balugul
Your point of view.
whether it's like a written piece, a drawn piece, like an illustration or digital piece of art, something tangible, or maybe a short. I don't know. Like,
Creative.
if you're out there, we want to see what you got. And then, yeah, we're going to do a live voting poll. And you can get a couple of prizes from the sponsors. All right, guys. Oz, can you sound it off? Oh, that was a prelude again. Another one of them preludes. Hold up. Sound it off. We got Just Go By Us on the soundboard. And B-Folk Music in the house. Oh, there we go.
This one.
All right. Let me get that one more time, bro.
Get that air horn. Yeah.
What?
It's officially 10 o'clock, y'all. It's TTalks with your girl Keeks.
And folk.
And our special guest tonight is Ongeu Tarimel.
Hey, what's up?
Welcome
How's it
to
going?
the show. Thank you for your time. Balsad.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Hey, man. So nice to meet you again virtually.
Right?
And for anybody who's just tuning in and getting to know you, that's cool too.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I'm not ashamed. I'm not afraid. Ali malungagap singer Miguel and Swell Marabela or Quam, wherever you guys are at. My name is Chasmin Ongeu Tarimel. But to many Palauans and family, I go by Ongeu. Or I go by Chaz if you can't pronounce it.
Your government name.
But I'm very proud of my name, so please call me Ongeu. Charles Tarimel, my dad's side, I am from Ngarlong. Shout out to my Yobe family. And my paternal grandmother from Layao. And on my mom's side, I'm from Palaliu, Ngiti Irur, Rida family, and Adara Koshiba. So shout out to the Koshiba family too.
Hey! That's
Yeah, really all about family and just very fortunate to be part of these many families of aunties and uncles and cousins. So
Right.
yeah. But I was born and raised here in Seattle, Washington, and growing up didn't really got to learn, unfortunately, the language fluently. But being part of a lot of the Palau gatherings and seeing all the other American cousins, it has helped me be rooted in my culture. So even though I'm here in America, I'm still very much Palauan, and still holding on to my roots. So very
Sweet.
proud of that.
what's up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. No,
So
that's a good thing about Palawan communities, Mabar in the States, because we still kind of tied to the roots. It's good.
Yep.
yeah, it is.
Totally.
We have Portland and Ken, Washington.
Yep.
A
Yep.
lot of big Palauan and Pacific Islander communities. So
I know.
shout
Yeah.
out to all
Like
We'll be
fans
there
out
soon. We
there.
need to come visit all of y'all.
It's been a while.
yeah.
We came to Seattle
I know.
once.
I know the Moretz Momes tournament usually happens here in Washington, the softball tournament, but because of
Yeah.
COVID, the pandemic, I don't think it's returning this year. So hopefully next year in 2022.
Oh,
Hoping, talking to
Yeah.
you organizers out there. Hopefully we can bring our
Yeah,
Palau
so many
community back.
vendors.
I know the first time we went out there, we were the only vendors out there. But it
Oh,
was
along
good.
with the Sabrina. She was
Oh yeah,
doing her cosmetic line too. We had our
cosmetics.
little booth side by side.
Mm,
Shout out to you, sis, if you ever
yeah.
tune in.
Not
She's
forever. I
also a
can't
go
wait.
getter. But yeah, man. Tell us a little bit about Omrang and your website. What inspired your designs,
Yeah.
and how it all got started, and where you're at right now, or whatever you
Yeah,
want to tell us.
yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. I wouldn't like growing up. I wouldn't have necessarily called myself an artist. But I was very attracted to like artsy things, or how
Mhm.
I had a vision in mind, but I just didn't know how to like execute that or put it onto a product.
What is it?
It was only like a couple of years ago that I got my hand on the iPad with the pencil. And I started, with the evolution of technology.
Yep.
There's a lot of things you can do. You're not
Right.
That's what you can do now. Yeah.
no more barriers. Like I can't do it on paper and pencil like other people, but I can do it on the iPad.
I know.
And
Right.
Yeah.
so,
Here we are.
So much. Yeah.
no, for
So much
real.
easier.
Non-sponsored stuff on the show.
For real.
And so, I have done like stuff with Palau motifs and symbols because I was, always around other Pacific Islanders. Most of them like Polynesian.
Mhm.
And I was like, man, where's our motifs? Where's our like, our own art? Because like I've been exposed to like Itaburi and and the Abais when I was growing up, but I never really saw like the modern arts of Palauan culture.
What is it?
Um, and so, I started drawing, but I never really really thought that it could be turned into a business or that I could like expose this to the public. I did make stickers and I gave it to some people. Like, so some people have like, the original stickers that I created.
Early work. Yeah.
Yeah, I made a Iowa, with the
Nice.
stingray with
Uh,
the designs, and I was like, oh, maybe I could sell this, but I was too afraid. I wasn't sure if I was ready to start a business and grow. And then the pandemic started, and it just kind of kept me at home, and I'm like, okay, what do I do?
It's time.
you
You have so
know,
much time.
uh, yeah, and I'm working from home, and I was like, okay, I have all this time. I still have my iPad. I have all these designs and drawings that I have, but I haven't shared it.
mm.
Um, and so I started making stickers over the summer, and I posted it on Instagram, and like people were actually buying it. I was like, dang, that's so tight.
Uh,
Like my most popular one is this sticker right here. I don't know if you guys can see it.
ooh.
Oh,
Um,
that's clean.
yeah, and so like you can put this on your car, you can put this on your water bottle. I was selling it for like $5, and people were buying it, and rocking it on all their stuff, and I was like, okay, cool. Like people love this stuff.
Yeah.
I just also really wanted to contribute to what's already being out there with other Palawan businesses.
Right.
Because I know for me growing up, there was not a lot of Palawan representation in that area.
Exactly.
And now I'm like, people are like, "What's a Palawan?" Oh, South of Japan,
Yeah.
East of the Philippines. I'm like, I'm always having to explain where we're at.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
and
that's
I
it.
love our art. I love our language, and I really wanted to people to know who we are, and create something that was also slightly different, that was rooted in our culture. So a lot of my stickers, a lot of my art is actually rooted in the legends.
Mm.
We have so many different
Inspired.
legends and stories
Yeah.
that really, it's our history, right? It's the
Yeah.
record of our history, of our past, and I just want people to have something that they could look at it and be reminded, like, oh, that's one of our stories. That's who we are.
Yeah.
Um, so like people who are from Yesar or I was, they're Aliv,
Yeah.
or the Adeng or Well, like some of these animals that are important to Palawan culture.
Mhm.
Um, so when I started my website, it was very scared. I was very scared because like, oh man, how am I going to get this out? How are people going to, know
Right.
about
Gonna
it?
buy it.
Or the
Are
ones
they
you
going to
attended
buy it?
aren't the ones. So
Yeah.
it's you don't really know how it's gonna go, right?
No, yeah, and I have very supportive parents, and family who was like, yeah, you should do it. People will buy it. It's really good. And so I held on to the affirmations and and the encouragement. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. But in light of my career that I'm doing right now, and that I had to find the right time to do it.
Like,
Um, and now it's Pacifica Heritage Month, celebrating Pacific Islander culture. I thought, okay, let's do this, so
yeah.
people can have something to wear, to and show their cultural pride.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, now I'm just
Represent.
like starting out. I'm just starting out slow, starting out small, but I'm hoping that it'll grow bigger. I'm hoping to like, sell at like different Islander events.
Right.
It's more than just like the money, though I have goals with that. It's really just like wanting to give a piece of cultural pride to the community.
Exactly.
And all of the other artists and all the vendors that I see on Instagram have really inspired me just to keep going. So here we are.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
And the more of
Yeah.
us, the more they see and the more they know. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
I did the makasa. It's kind
Inspires
of
the
hard.
next. Inspires the next.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um.
Loving it. Loving it.
So, why did you choose Omarang? Because I was gonna say,
Oh, yeah.
like, why did you choose Omarang?
Yeah.
The
Oh
name as
man.
the name.
So initially, I had my company name as Ongaji Arts. The term was kind of like a mix of my names and my identities as a Palawan Japanese American. So it was a very personal name for me. But then like when I decided to like really open up and expose my art, and sell it as products, I really wanted a name that would like really connect with people.
Mhm.
And also, how Palawan words are, like some of them are hard to pronounce and people are not going to
Yeah.
Yeah.
get it right away.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know if you all know about tagingit.com, the Palawan dictionary,
Yeah.
but I utilize that every single day if I like need a Palawan word or need
Hey,
to
it
understand
helps.
something.
For
And so
real.
I was looking through like, like what kind of what values do I have? And when I thought of like believe and trust, as a Christian, as a person who believes in God, I was like, I love that word believe,
Mm-hmm.
because I was so scared and believing that this business would, would fall or not come to fruition, right?
Right, not
Yeah.
launch.
And trusting in God, for Him to pave the way for this. So I was like, oh, trust, believe. I kind of like that word. And so I
Yeah.
looked it up and it was like Omarang. I'm like, okay, that's an easy word for people to pronounce. It's not too
Yeah.
Yeah.
far off, and I talked it over with one of my cousins and she was like, yeah, I'm feeling that, and she affirmed that. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to pursue that. Um, and it also began with an O. So, my logo is a steering wheel
Oh,
Oh,
it's
I
perfect.
um,
see.
with the traditional Ongeu,
Yeah.
from the boat.
Oh,
And so,
Nice.
it can like fit into this, into my logo and my name. So
I
I was like, Omarang is going what I'm going to go with. I want people to trust and believe that what they're going to get is a high quality
Yeah.
product and rooted in tradition. So that's kind of the motto that I'm following in opening up this business. It wasn't until much later that I found out my cousin's new baby is also named Omarang. I'm like, oh shoot, okay, cool.
It's even better now. That can buy
You
all
know?
the shirts.
But it's such a great word, though, right? You know, Omarang a Dios. You know, like, you trust God, or you trust, you trust the process, and
Believe the
um,
process. Yeah. Trust the process.
yeah. And so, and then
You
that's
don't
what I
believe
want
in
my
yourself.
right,
Who's gonna
right.
believe? Yeah.
Believe in
And
your
I really
work
want
too.
our,
You know what I'm saying?
and I really wanted my customers to believe, our company, and trust the person who's steering the Ongeu. There we go. Um,
Nice.
so,
Faustina said, watching from Yobe. Mga
oh,
lang alone. So great. Cultural creative industries.
what's up, Auntie
Shout out to you,
Tina?
Faustina.
So she's the former minister. She just retired.
Oh, what's up? It's vacay mode now.
Right? So
Hey,
yeah, that's why I started
sir.
Omarang.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, you were saying.
Yeah, that's why I started Omarang, and I just love the name. I love what it stands for, and I hope people just as love it as much as I do.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm
I
glad
love
you
it.
explained that. So now people, what they see, they already know. So it's like automatic.
Amen.
Believe.
Yep.
That's what's up. I
I
think
like
the
it.
first thing I came across was like I don't know if it was from last year or it was from another year, but last year I saw it Independence Day. Bib
Yeah, yeah.
38. Is that
Oh,
available? I really like that one. Is that one available for purchase? Like,
yeah,
can you?
yeah. So this one right here.
Yeah.
Ooh, yep.
Yeah. So this one is also available on my website. I still have these in stock.
Okay.
Um, Actually, a friend of mine really recommended for me to put the Palau map
I know that's so
on the
dope.
body.
I didn't even
I
see that.
know.
Oh,
That's
sick.
that
So
That's sick.
especially like just
and
the
I
so
need that
little
um
on the
details.
branch.
It's so
Oh
dope.
snap.
so it is the national bird, but also the elilai, the national flower.
Mhm.
So it's like what represents Palau.
I see.
Um,
That's dope.
this is like one of my favorite ones that I probably made. Um, but well, contrary to my customers, these
Mhm.
three were the most popular in the Ohio and Adeng and Win. These three right here.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Those would be some cool
So
Those are
tats.
dope. Yeah. Are you interested in tattooing?
actually, I don't tattoo, but I've done commission work. I've already had maybe
Nice.
10 customers, and I still have some in queue that have asked for like a personalized design and flower
Okay.
motifs and stories.
Oh sweet.
Currently I'm not accepting any commissions at the moment, but I'm hoping
Oh,
to open up my queue again if there are any other Palauan or Micronesian people out there that are interested in a design.
yeah.
Um, I'm always like wanting to know who you are, where you're from, so I can create it and make sure that's like uniquely
It's like
yours,
close
you
to
know?
you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
I
know,
have something.
Nice.
Hey man,
yeah,
let's
so
know when your commission opens up, when you're back up for work, and then we'll also blast that on social media. If you put a flyer out, send it our way.
right.
We'll promo too
I got you. I got you.
Get some clientele.
and get ours.
Yeah,
And
no, yeah,
commissions
for
for
real. Hit me up.
um. So you have a you have your business omarang.com, but you
Mm,
also have
mm.
a career that you're
Yeah,
also
I do.
passionate about.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? The age range that you deal with as far as the youth, and
Hmm.
give us some insight. If there's any facts to
Yeah.
share, educational tools,
Hmm.
resources, statistics.
Fun stories.
Yeah, fun story.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Omarang.com is like my side hustle, something that I do on the side, when I have time. But my actual like day-to-day career is I'm a school counselor for middle school students here in Seattle, Washington. I work directly with sixth grade students. So they're at kind of that preteen awkward stage of socially developing. And it's really fun to work with them. Right now we've been back in school for about a month in hybrid after they've been in school for about a year. But I just love my career. As a school counselor, I get to have one-on-one talks with them whenever my students have an issue or a problem at home, or they have a problem with one of their friends. It's it can get really
Drama.
fun and yeah. Oh my
A lot of
gosh! Come on, yo.
Yo.
Sixth grade drama is something. It's so funny. Like I had to kind of refrain from myself from laughing whenever they come to
Right.
tell me
They're
like
so sweet.
what's the drama. Yeah, it could be something
And
about
they're
an
young
argument.
too. It's
Yeah,
fun.
like what
Stressing
like
about
one of the students was like he's bullying me. What did they do? They stared at me. I'm like, oh, okay, let's work through this. Because apparently everyone is a lion these days, and so if you stare at somebody, it's like, oh, they're bullying you, or they're
Threatening.
about to pounce on you, or they hit. Yeah. So like there are times where I'm just kind of like have to figure out, okay, how am I gonna address this, and
Right.
Right.
and help reconcile this friendship or
I know.
whatever it is.
Peace. Sounds
Um,
fun. Like
So-
your kids and you're a counselor too. That sounds fun.
yeah.
It's fun in
My
these groups. They really need
yeah.
that help from a good person too at that age.
Mm,
That's
mm.
what's up.
What is
My,
how many students do you
Oh, yeah.
see in
there's some days where it can be pretty slow. So like I probably won't see anyone, but I have a lot of like administrative work that I have to do in my office, so I do that. But when it gets like, I think there was a day where I just met with student after student after student after student. It's probably like 4 or 5, but they were like 1 hour each.
Oh my God. For real. It's like the whole day.
And my policy, or like as a school counselor, I should only be meeting with them like 15-20 minutes. Because I have like 300-400 on my caseload.
Mhm. Wow.
And if
That's a lot.
yeah, so I can like meet
Personality.
with everyone for 1 hour. Like that would be
Really cut it in
impossible.
half.
One of my students, and this is funny, so excuse my language if I use any language that is not appropriate, but one of my students was about to like ask this one girl out to a dance, and his friends were making fun of him, told him that he had no balls. And he did something that was inappropriate, and he got in trouble, and he came to me and he told me the story, and I'm like, dude, why did you do that? He was like, I don't know, I didn't want my friends to make fun of me that they told me I have no balls.
Oh
And
my
then,
God.
and then I told him, like, just off the top of my head, I told him, oh, if they tell them that you have no balls, tell them, ask if they want to see, like if they want to see, just to make sure.
Right.
And then this student goes around telling the teachers that I said that, and they're all laughing that Mr. Chaz said that in the counseling session.
But he told me to.
Oh man, yeah. My students I have a lot of students, especially a lot of students of color, that come and see me. I want to, I don't know if you noticed, but there's not a lot of male educators, especially male of color educators. Black, Latinx,
True.
Asian, especially Pacific Islander male educators. If you guys are out there, let me know, because I'm looking for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm
Link
like
up.
maybe one of like 3 educators in our district. That's working directly with students. A lot of my Pacific Islander students, they actually call me Uncle Chaz, because that's how we, like, oh man, do I feel that old?
Hold on,
But
hold on. a couple more years.
Wait till you for Uncle. I know they be hella savage. um,
That's funny.
but I try to like build that relationship and try to bring a little home into the schools. Because that's what our PI students are used to. That uncle, auntie, nephew, niece
Mm.
relationship. And so my office has always been like that place that they want to get away. If whatever they bring back at home, it's too heavy, and they just need to dump it.
Safe
They like
haven.
they can be cool with me. Like if they want to cuss, if they want to like yell and scream, whatever, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna tell them how they should express themselves. Um, so
Especially
my
like being
office
kids.
was that.
I say, especially being kids, you're not like suppressing them. You're letting them, express,
Figure out how
let
Yeah,
to
it
handle
out.
it.
right. Because the
They
idea
can
of
cry out
respect,
in class.
yeah, the idea of respect at home in a Pacific Islander household, right? Omungul and being
Hmm.
respectful to your
Mhm.
parents.
Yeah.
But then like growing up in that American experience, right? Like seeking that individuality or that space to be away. They
Hmm.
don't usually get that at home, and so they can have that in my office. But that comes with the relationship first. So I try to you know let them know that, hey, I'm not going to tell anyone about what you're doing as long as you're keeping yourself safe.
Yeah.
Whatever you say, between us, I'm not going to say anything
Yeah.
to other people.
Yeah.
Usually I have snacks. I'm that counselor that has snacks in my drawer, so and I don't have just like any snacks. I have shrimp chips. I have like the panda and all the
Yeah.
the
Good
Palawan
snack.
candies and stuff like
You got the
that.
good snacks.
Because like these
Comfort
kids are
snack.
hungry. They're coming to school and they're not eating at home.
I bet. Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, here, have a
Something to
granola
hold you
bar. Or,
over.
yeah, and they consider, oh, I'm tired. I'm not getting enough sleep. I'm not eating. Well, that's why you're not eating. You're hangry right
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. For kids that don't even know.
now. Yeah.
Right. No, that's
um,
good. That's good because even me, like, I mean, in high school, like my counselor was like my go-to person because I couldn't go to the teachers, I
mm,
couldn't go to the AP,
yeah.
I couldn't go to the principal. So like my counselor was, because I went there like I remember I was 16. I moved to the States and went to high school. It
Uh,
was a whole world. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm smart, but in school, I'm like, it was just a brand new
I
world for me.
know.
Luckily, my counselor was the African American female, and then she helped
Oh,
me through the
nice.
process and put me in classes that I needed to be in for me to be myself or who I am today, and
Yeah.
be able to do this kind of stuff.
Right. Right. Then there needs to be more Pacific Islander educators.
Yeah.
Shout out to my mentors and all the Pacific Islander leaders and my supervisors out there. Because and a lot of them were like, educators of color, and it's something different when
It's
the
different.
person in that position, that looks like you or is similar to you or is from a very similar
Yeah,
culture.
yeah,
And our community is growing in the United States, and
yes.
a lot of teachers do not know who Pacific Islanders are, who do not know who Palauans are, who don't understand their culture. And I'm one of the very few PI counselors out there, and my hope is that in my lifetime, before I retire, is that there's more Pacific Islander educators, especially
Right.
Palauan educators out there. So I really, really want that. And I'm here right now on the forefront, and it's
You
been
paving the
it's
way.
been great.
No, for real, because I'm thinking about it too, and I'm like, a lot of my nieces and nephews are all in school, like in the States, especially like up there in Seattle, Portland.
Mhm.
It's a lot of
A lot of
Palauans.
family out
Yeah, especially Eastern Oregon University. I see you. Like y'all have
Right.
all the clowns out there.
here.
I know we're everywhere. Like
I
that's why I was like, it's
know.
about time we all come together because we're literally in all corners of the globe. Like we
Mhm.
about to take over, whether they like it or not.
Seriously.
For real.
Eh,
Yeah.
Faustina said, kumoblo oil and motmakan atu manungil rar atin nga rebelaw mamriken. Humano sulang. Ongeu, I need to go to Museo and taro for the taro fries. Wish I could send them
Ooh,
taro
taro
fries
fries.
to your students.
Ah,
That sounds good.
Auntie Tita is like the queen of taro, like, and all the aunties like just go to the Masai, and I wish that that knowledge can be brought here in America, because I think
Right.
there's something about the burama ngiralo, like the men go out fishing, the women are planting and cultivating the taro, and how that relationship,
Mm-hmm.
that's so much knowledge and wisdom in that,
Yeah.
that I want our future
Balance.
Palau generation. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's such a Palauan cultural thing and a
Mm-hmm.
Pacific Islander thing that I want students, to know not only their academics but also their culture and how that kind of ties in together.
Mm.
Um, because we
That's
can be
really
too American or too Palauan, but like,
yeah.
us Palauan
Metal.
Americans
Yeah.
need to
Wait.
need to bring that together.
Now it's crazy because like so we're like that generation now. Like when we look back from Japanese times, ngari tirigel o no
Mm.
shawal o pila bela o mga shawal
Oh,
eh lagi na ako tell Merigal version.
I
Yeah,
know.
like for
Maria
real.
trying to get back to the roots version. I
Mm,
think
Yeah, like
that's a lot of us out there. Whether we were moved out here at a young age, or born and raised, or
mm,
born, left, came back. It's like
yeah.
there's something about being out here for quite some time.
yeah.
You want to connect. I think that's
For real.
something that
Mm,
you said before when we also were talking about
mm,
that with other islanders too. It's like that sense of like reconnecting.
yeah,
Through
yeah.
the different medias that we have today, digital
Mm,
art, digital
mm,
media,
yeah.
representation. Because that's not what we that's as far as I grew up there as far as adolescence, and at
Mm,
the time everything you see on TV is Western.
yeah.
So we're like brainwashed at a young age to like, oh, then mo wait even,
What I say?
flashy
Uh,
cars, this, that, whatever it is. Uh,
mm,
and I
one of
think at this point it's like now we get to choose.
mm,
Mm.
mm.
Really,
One of the
where you
ways,
want to focus your energy.
yeah, for sure. One of the ways that that helps me to be rooted is how my culture ties into my counseling practice. When it comes to
Nice.
like respect, or
Right.
when we listen to one another,
Mm-hmm.
like we're not always the first ones to talk, because we're observing the room and making sure that we're not
Yep.
overstepping our bounds.
Yeah, vibing off
So
first.
For real.
that's really helped me in becoming a better listener to my students, or giving them that space to talk. um, or when it talks about talking about community, being able to relate to my students, in a familial way. Um,
Ooh, it's
you
game
know,
time. That went by fast. Okay, sorry.
no worries. Yeah, so being able to use who I am and to be able to connect with not just only PI students, but other students of color from different backgrounds. Our school is made up of, I think, over 60% of students who speak another language. So we have many immigrant students. We have a lot of students who speak Spanish. We have a lot of students who have different religions. We have students like all from different backgrounds.
Mm.
Right.
So it's such a privilege that I get to work with a diverse student body, and knowing that they have myself and my counseling partners to lean on when they go through some issues or problems, or dealing with suicide or self harm, because that thing is real.
Yeah.
In our schools, unfortunately, last year we lost two of our students to suicide, um, over at the start of pandemic, and these were students that were not on our radar. Um,
Mm.
and so, that's one of my concerns as a school counselor is not having working with students who I have not worked with, that may be going through stuff, but they're internalizing it. They're not coming to us. That's one of my biggest fears. So we try to be open and transparent, and try to put ourselves out there so that they know who to come.
Easy for
Whenever they're
them
in
to approach.
crisis. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Because sometimes they're very afraid, especially my sixth graders, and I'm like 6'1",
Oh
and
man,
these
yeah, he's a
and
giant.
then these six graders are like what, four
All
something,
right.
five maybe.
Bye. For
You
real.
know, so they're probably was like, oh, he looks mean, but actually, I'm, I'll be singing karaoke during lunchtime. To the students.
Oh my
Scoping.
gosh, that's so fun.
Uh,
That we need more counselors like you, because like
We
those are
do.
the influential stages. Like
We do.
definitely your sponge when you're baby growing up, and then that's
mhm.
when you right before you hit puberty, you're trying to figure out what the heck's going on. And
Yeah.
I don't recall having a middle school counselor, so that's dope that
Mm,
you get to
You
be
don't
in
really
that
need counseling.
that
Yeah.
particular shit. 'Cause by the time they're in high school, we're already trying to put up a front, or maybe
Hmm.
not, and you're just
right?
vulnerable and shy, so you're just in
Oh
the
man.
sidelines,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's dope. Hey,
No.
Spaya said karaoke time.
Eh.
All right, guys. So if y'all heard that air horn, it is now time for our game segment. I forgot to mention this, bro, when we was in the sound check. But
Mm,
we do a little game segment um, during Tea Talks, especially when it's somebody who has a business to promote. All right. So if you guys have ever seen Tea Talks on IG, you know how this goes. But if you don't, um, basically, I'm gonna ask a question. If you've been listening since we started in the green room until now, you should know the answer. And if you didn't join during the green room, it's okay because you mentioned it when we started 10 on the dot. All right. So the question, if you guys know the answer, drop it in the comments. Whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, it'll show up on our feed.
On Facebook.
So the first person to answer the question correctly is going to win a prize. And it's a surprise. I was trying to see if anybody was sending anything over here. I see Faustina said, last comment, taro flour to
oh,
make bread, spaghetti, lasagna, pancakes, pie, cake, etc. Using Pound
Oh.
products. Thank you so much. Enjoyed this so much. Knowing different languages is a good skill to have. Bye. Until next time. That's a song.
Try
Wait,
all of
what?
that.
I love you,
Taro.
Auntie.
Bread, lasagna, pancakes,
Thanks.
pie.
Nice.
What?
Oh,
Okay.
that sounds
We need to
good.
find out. We need to
Taro.
find out. Yeah.
Taro flour.
It's probably like the best too. I can't even like. Sebab ako ngasal gime orbela sebab tuak lang ganyan restaurant sebab melapor namin se
Taro
mga
spaghetti.
promote tadi. That's dope. Taro spaghetti noodles? Is that what you say? And lasagna,
Oh,
Taro pancakes.
yo,
Run.
shout out to Auntie Tina. She actually started the Taro Festival a long time ago. Back in
Oh,
Palau,
what?
there was a Taro Festival where they made all
That's
these
how
different
I
taro
not be missing.
products. So no rice, just like taro everything.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's good. It's
So
good diet.
That's dope. All right, guys. So game segment.
Yeah, game.
If you were tuned in, all right, um, let us know what was Ongeu's first design that he made available.
Ooh.
His first
First
design that he
design.
made available.
Ooh, who remembers it?
Who was tuned in? Are you guys still here?
Oh,
Hey!
looks like we got an
We
answer.
got a winner!
hey, let's
Yee!
go.
Shout out to you!
That was fast.
Is
That's
it
on the
eBay? Ale!
Oh, shout out to you, sis.
Correct. That's what's up. All right. So we will reach out to you sis on Facebook Messenger. All right. And I'm gonna put your name down right now.
Prizes. Get some prizes.
And yeah, we'll be sending you a gift. I don't know if you guys seen it going around, but it's a little customized 680 MVMT mug. So we'll be sending that to you.
Oh, it's camping time. So you better get you an outdoor 680 movement mug.
Yep.
Prize.
I'm putting your name down right now, and then
Throw
if you
some
can
stickers.
if you can shoot me a message. Otherwise, I'll reach out to you and we'll get your address, okay? And also what you want to put, because I've been putting people's IG handles on there. so far it's been but this is the first time on Facebook. So hey, shout out to you, E. You're the first TTalks FB winner.
Yeah,
Hey, what's up?
All
Congrats.
right.
So,
For sure, for sure. All right, KM. All right, bro. So can we kind of bring it back to Omra and tell me a little bit about if you want to share, if you can share your creative process and your you did share like the inspiration, but maybe like your
Mhm.
how did you like first come across or first start up your designs, like let's say when you
Mm.
decide you're gonna do OI, like
Yeah,
when it comes
yeah,
down to the tribal arts, replacing things and stuff like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
or
for sure.
the different relics that you're using,
Right.
and then also what your go-to software, Photoshop, Procreate, and if you have
Yeah.
like a couple tips you can share,
Mhm.
because really we want to also be able to share resources, and that's to anybody who feels open to anytime we
Mhm.
come here on TikToks, we always want to share resources because at the end of the day, it's each one teach one. Because we're not gonna live
Yeah.
forever. You might as well
Right,
pass
right.
it on. Yeah, plant the seed,
For
inspire
sure.
somebody else to take the torch when we're gone. And
Yeah.
I hope anybody who's watching us, and it's crazy because I was thinking about this when I was getting ready. But anybody who's interested in starting their little virtual podcast as well, reach out to us, man. We'll send you resources because we out here.
I know we're still
Right?
researching too.
We tested it out. We
Learning. We all learn as we
legit or
go.
bogus. So here we are. Here's
As
one
long as you
Shoot.
want to do it, though, that's the thing. If you want to do it, you'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
Because everything is there. All the resources are there. You just
Mhm.
gotta want it to find it, to
So
learn it, and do it.
that's what's up. I'll be reaching out to you guys later about that. I got you. Thank you.
For sure, for sure. That's networking. Yeah, let's hear about your creative process. Like
Yeah,
what you go to do. Just I don't know.
yeah,
Give us some insight.
yeah, yeah. It was like over the last, I guess, decade or so when I started college. I started researching our motifs. Like Palauan symbols, motifs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard. I think I didn't really know the art of tattooing back in Palau, and how what tattooing meant for Palauans.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because when you get a tattoo, a lot of the designs are like family, or
Mm-hmm.
they're specific to family, not
Plants.
necessarily like
Right.
right, not like
Male
a
or
pan
female.
Palauan thing, right? Exactly.
I feel
You
you.
know,
I was in that same. It was in that same conundrum because I was like, I know
yeah.
these are not Palawan, but what is that? What is that? What does that mean? Where do you get
Hmm.
it from? Yeah.
Yeah. So over the years, I, was collecting ideas or trying to research, something that I can put together that's more of a pan Palawan
Yeah.
design. With respect to some designs that are like for family, and and really trying to maintain that line of respect.
Yeah.
Because Samoan Polynesian designs, they're like super cool, and a lot of our Palauan brothers and sisters get them, and as cool as they are, you know, um, I really want us to like have our own kind of special,
Mm-hmm.
unique
And we do.
designs that are, and we do. And
Yeah.
so when I had all this knowledge about these different designs, and inspired by a lot of different Palauan artists. Shout out to Meride, Omalun, and
Yes. Shout
and
out to
sister
That's the
Yan.
main one.
She's like that big sister, big cousin that
Mm-hmm.
I
Big sis.
looked up to, and and I was like, oh shit, that's so cool. I really want to do that myself. So when I got the iPad and I was able to like make those intricate lines and patterns, and I would start with an outline. I would find like a picture of an animal and I would like trace it first. But then the inside, I would like manipulate it, or try to put our designs into a pattern similar to Polynesian designs. Because that's what Palauans like. They like that little intricate,
The
very
tribal,
Mm-hmm.
detailed,
yeah.
And how it
complicated
wraps
design.
to shape the body,
Right,
the arm, and
right.
yeah.
So when I made the OI and I finished it, I was like, dang, I can't believe I made something like this, because it's like I've never in my life, I don't know how to vector. I'm still learning how to vector design, and and learning the process.
Yeah.
But the iPad just allowed me to have a little more creative license,
Mhm.
to really bring a vision in my head on into reality. Um, and I would always
Yeah.
show like my cousin, my designs. I was like, hey, what do you think? Just for affirmation, because I really want to build a product that people can feel proud of when they have that they can rep their pride. Um, and so and learning more about different legends and different stories, and there are certain animals in Fallen culture that have a specific purpose.
Mhm.
I really wanted to popularize those, that people didn't really see as valuable to make it into more value, out there. So like the Masagu,
Yeah.
that's such a beautiful, majestic animal
Mother.
that
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think a lot of other Pacific Islands have Masagu, dugong, or manatee in
Hmm.
their
Right.
islands, um, or a lot of the birds that we have that are unique to
Yeah.
Palau.
Endemic to Palau. Hmm.
And I really wanted to highlight those things. So those are what makes us or stand out from the rest.
Right.
Um, and I'm still learning, and I'm still open, to hearing from people about our designs and about our history, because a lot of it was almost extinct, and there's a lot of things that we are reviving or
Mhm.
reintroducing. um, and
Right.
I just really want to keep the traditions and keep our culture alive, even if
Yeah.
it's in a modern style.
And I
Um,
Yeah.
I, ha- I have one of my designs that I'm selling right now. This one, the Pacifica Unity one.
nice. That's the one
So
you.
this is
Yeah.
yeah, this is the one that has like designs from all the different islands. Because I'm all
Oh.
about that unity too. I'm all
That's
about
what's
bringing
up.
our Nesian family member, Polynesian, Melanesian, Micronesian.
For
Because
sure.
we traveled, we visited each other, we came to each other's islands, and at
Yeah.
some point in
For
history,
real.
and I just want people to be reminded of our unique cultures, but the similarities that we have with each other.
Yeah, we're so
Right.
Um,
yeah, no, yeah. That's the thing.
yeah,
We're all the
so
same. Yeah, we were just separated by the colonizers, but we're all the same.
Hmm.
right, exactly.
We were just given a name to go by, but
You know
we
what?
all
Mm.
one.
You know what makes me the most excited about this era that we're living in? Technology just advancing.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, is
There's
that
the cat.
I was like, don't be surprised. My cat. I knew you was coming.
He's like, I need to get my 15 seconds.
Like, what we got going on here?
um, no, I was gonna say that. Oh shoot, I kind of lost it over there for a second. Let me
I'm not.
bring it back.
Let's
Bring
kick
it
this
back.
kid better, dude.
About this era.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the technology. Is that
Um,
um we get to rewrite it, or we get to
mm,
be the people.
Know our history.
Yeah, who not only know are coming to know, but are being able to tell that story and pass it on.
mhm,
Whether we're doing it through art, or um, actual books, or
mhm,
actual videos, movies. I don't know. Maybe there's about to be movies
Mhm.
coming out. I don't know.
Music.
Hopefully,
Mhm.
I
mhm.
want to audition. But I'm just saying, like, it's a very cool era, because I remember going through Kramer's museum, episode museum,
Mhm,
right? And there's this collection of books that Kramer wrote, and one of the Kramer and this other woman who was like who came to Palau during the German time, and they were like documenting all the Micronesian islands. Basically saying that
mhm.
they're documenting for the purpose that when we come to realize that our culture was lost, we're gonna come back and look for it. And
Yeah.
that
That
happened
was
to
been
me
happening.
looking for our motifs.
Mhm.
Like that, I
Yeah.
also came across that trying to find out, what are our motifs, and I was like, oh, that's messed up.
Mm,
We were observed, and it was, then we were colonized, so we were assimilated to live a certain
mhm,
way, and now we're going back and
mhm,
trying to figure out, what's what. I think we definitely managed to ibelal that's and more biak.
Mhm.
mhm,
But as far as
mhm.
like tangible proofs of who we are as people, like I think
Yeah.
it's evolved over time. So we're kind of trying to figure out
Mm,
what's the roots or the basis of it.
right. And man, and when I decided to design like this is my design for Kleibela, like that's the word that I chose.
That's
one of my
it.
designs. And I had to really think about like what does Kaliibelao mean to me as a Palauan American, because
Mhm.
it's so different from the Palauans in Palau,
Yeah.
where they're in the country, they speak the language, and it's something
They're
that I've
living they're
envied.
living with
Yeah.
the whatever conditions that
Hmm.
whether it's as a community or
Hmm.
government or what.
Yeah, and I've envied that for like so long because growing up in the States, my parents didn't speak the language when I was a kid because at the time there was this notion that if I learned another language, I wouldn't be able to speak English, or I'd be put into the English language classes when I was at school, so they always spoke
Yeah, that's what I
English.
think. Shout out to the ESL classes.
But
I'm here
unless
now.
they would speak polite to me if I, needed to go throw away the garbage or clean the dishes or quickly clean my room, or they would yell at me, it would be in Palawan, but then like
When they're mad.
yeah,
Or they're telling you
you
to do
know,
something.
yeah.
For real.
But then like, it would be mostly English, and so that's what I adapted to, growing up.
Mhm.
So as a Palawan American who has this desire to go back to his roots, but it's a lot more difficult and challenging at an older age to learn a language or to reclaim some parts of the culture.
Yeah.
I do whatever I can to try and hold on to that. And when I have kids someday, I want to be able to like expose them into the Palawan culture.
Make sure they know
Have them
it.
get to know their aunties and uncles and their cousins, because I don't want that to be lost after me.
Yeah.
That's kind of my concern is what is the generation after me going to look like? Since I've already lost a lot of who
Right.
my culture
Exactly.
by being in America,
Mhm.
um, and like I love my family because they're always welcoming and
Yeah.
they always wanted to hang out with me. Even though I was born here, so when I go back, it's always a great time and they speak Palawan to me so I can be able to understand. Like when you were
Right.
speaking Palawan to me earlier, I understood probably like 80% of what you told me.
That's what's up.
And I was like, I appreciate that, because I'm trying to hold on to that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you know.
Hey
Um,
man, I'm
That's
here
good.
with you because honestly, English is my first language. Ngamit in Hawaii for
mm,
it's like San Leandro, and then moved back to
oh,
Palau when I was 10 years old, and I
mm,
was because of the environment I had to survive. Shit, I was getting bullied, so I had to learn how to speak Palauan to freaking
mm,
say something back.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Like
And
my
that's the
mom,
time if you
yeah.
spoke English, you were getting roasted,
Like
you were getting
you was
bullied.
I was a
It was weird
Miguel,
back then.
yeah, in school. I was
Oh.
like
You had to be broken English to be cool with
for grade. It's crazy. It's times have changed, and it's cool. We
Mhm.
live and we learn. At that
Yeah, now it's the
time,
opposite. Now it's
yeah,
the opposite.
that time I
Yeah.
had my mom who was always like, because she was also born in Guam, raised in Hawaii, and then
Mm,
moved back to Palau in her adult life when we went to go. They started Bem or me and stuff, but yeah,
mm,
like if it wasn't for her pushing me and telling me like you gotta learn so you can talk back or whatever, say
mm.
whatever you need, and I was like, all right, use your words first, and I'm like, okay, and I'll be so sad, like I don't want to do this
Oh.
no more, but yeah, it's a struggle even right now, living out here and
Mhm.
it's probably only between us and if there's other Palauans we come across that speak, we'll talk
Oh,
together.
yeah.
Mhm.
And it
And
fades. It
Yeah.
fades
yeah,
quick because like
we were like, okay,
quick.
we're gonna try and do one whole TikTok from beginning to end, but
Oh.
Yeah.
you gotta do it for a while. And I think because we were there and being there in the environment where it's an everyday thing, it's like
Mhm.
this, you can pick it up
Mhm.
real quick like that. I do
Yeah.
want to say, shout out to the media channels that are actually available on YouTube. You can check out Palau
Mm,
Wave Radio. You can check out TMC and Lab Media
Check them
channel
out.
because we tune in.
Mhm.
I tune
Listen to
in
the
because
language.
they talk about a lot of stuff and keep us informed. But I also like it because it's been a while since I hear people deep lives like deep lives in Locotor Belao, and that's kind
mm,
of like helps to refresh as well. So it's kind of like that's like my go-to research bag. Shiro
Mhm.
also we love that channel. Thank you guys for putting out content.
hey.
But check them
For real.
out. Palau Wave Radio, keeping us informed. TMC, keeping us informed. It's what it is. Just you can go check it out. If you don't like it, keep it moving. Nah. you know, it is what it is.
That's
um,
what's up.
but yeah, man, I love what you're doing. Can you tell us about any projects, upcoming events? You did say you guys were only back in school like a month now.
Hmm.
So um, are you guys? Do you guys have any special events going on, or is there any resources for Pacific
Hmm.
Islanders as far as education is concerned? Um,
Yeah.
that you have access to, or you have networks that you can send their way?
Right. Um, let's see. Well, it's still Pacific Islander Heritage Month. I don't know if a lot of people know that. But in May we celebrate our Pacific Islander culture and pride.
Mm-hmm.
And I can send out the link, but there's a bunch of community colleges out here in Washington that are putting on these different PI workshops. And
Nice.
I just want to help promote Faith Cabocol. She is leading a Micronesian workshop on Tuesday. I think it's in the afternoon or the evening, and I'll send out that information to 680 they can disseminate that, and
Yeah.
and people can tap
Yeah.
in. Um, but there's a whole bunch of different series of workshops that many Pacific Islanders are doing. If anyone is interested, um, to learn more about who we are as a people,
Mm-hmm.
learn more knowledge, wisdom, all these that are connected to our identity. Um, so shout out to the organizers out there, the community colleges here in Washington. Um, yeah, graduations are coming up. With
Yeah.
so we don't have like anything big, because COVID.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
for our eighth graders at our school. Not like no big events, but just for the future, just like future aspirations that I'm hoping to, um, to happen, with our community again. And heading out to hopefully the Pacific Arts Festival in 2024. That's my goal. That's my
Yay.
Mhm.
dream.
Yeah.
Um,
That'll be
in
dope.
Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um,
2024.
yeah. And just wanting to grow this business, with the rest of the community. Um, I want to follow more Palawan creatives, and I want us to work together. Like we can be like in this a culture where everything is competitive, but it doesn't have to be like that with our
No.
community. Like
Only to
just
push
uplift.
each other to produce the best work. That's the only
Yeah,
time we're competing is to push each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not to
exactly,
bring one another down, but
Yeah.
to push each other.
exactly. I've been
Because
able
there
to
has to be
support.
that. In order for us to
Yeah,
produce the best, there has to be that. Because we can't just be
exactly.
we're cool. Everybody's gonna support. Nah, you gotta make sure
We
you
out
Do
there
push.
that.
But
2024.
yeah,
2024. Yeah, I've been able to like support other Pacific Islander Palau businesses since I started my business. I commissioned some artwork. I got the dolls from Mad Luke. Shout out to you. Love your
Hey,
work.
so
Uh,
that's what's
well,
up.
it was my niece's birthday last month, and I got her out of Masal, the
oh,
dolls,
that's perfect.
Yeah.
and gave it to her. So I'm hoping that she'll be able to hold on to this and be reminded of her culture.
Yeah.
You're
Yes.
doing
Shout out to
great
Bad Luck
things,
Dolls.
right? Um, yeah.
So you
But
like
yeah,
this
those are my.
person she told us about. She sent gifts for her birthday.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Shout out to Bad Luck, because honestly, Maisel, thank you so much. She made it happen because somehow one of the TTalks prizes ended up at her. She does have a TTalks prize that was headed to her. And this is insider story. And so she was like, "Oh, I think this was supposed to go to," and then she ended up showing me a picture. I was like, "Oh, MG, can you let me send a
Different
label?"
person.
So she really made it happen and came through and helped me
Mm.
on that and get it to where it needed to go. So thank you, Sister Maisel. Love you.
Yeah.
And shout out
Yeah.
to Mad Lip Dolls because what she's doing is awesome, man. If you
Mm.
haven't, check her out on IG at Mad Lip Dolls. That's MADDLUC.
For sure.
Um,
Mm.
oh, Toph said, "We on a mission, not a competition, fams."
Hey, let's
Shout out to
Hey,
Toe.
go.
and I would stand up.
He got some music coming soon,
Yeah,
so
yeah. Make sure you follow him on SoundCloud and
all platforms.
all platforms.
Shout
And
That's
also
what's
we
up.
have
That's
a
what's up.
comment from, is it Balwong, Jonathan. You want to say, yes, sir, bless sir. God works in mysterious ways too, brother. Much love, 6 a.m. VMT. Stay blessed, no stress. Yeah, yeah.
Hey.
Hey, man. That's dope. I can't wait for sure. Like 2024. Would like to meet up there. That would be dope, man. If any other
That
artists
would
are
be.
listening, like let's meet up. Um, so what is your go-to software? Did you already tell me that? Is it
Oh, yeah,
Photoshop or Procreate? Or...
yeah. So yeah, I said I use the iPad. I use Procreate. That's like my primary main use of drawing. And I think I've only gotten down to the basics after 2 years, and I know there's probably like a lot more advanced or like creative things that I could do.
Mhm.
But as far as I know, I only work with the basics. I just got into Adobe Illustrator. To
Yes,
learning how to vectorize to like really create sharper images and
I see.
um, and also in understanding like how things are screen printed. The
Mm-hmm.
bigger the image and detail it is, the more that it can come out onto the shirt.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, so that's something
that
that
makes
I've
a
learned,
difference.
and yeah, and I really want very sharp design so that when my customers or when other Palau people receive it or Costa Rica people see it,
Mm-hmm.
they can be rocking it fresh.
Yeah.
So it's definitely been a learning process for me. In light of my career and my busy life, but it's also been very humbling to venture into an area of business that I've always been concerned about and being successful at.
Mm-hmm.
Because being afraid of failure or not being successful at it. I suck at marketing, and I've been learning how to market. um,
We have to
so
put ourselves out there. Like that's
right.
the brand. Like that's what we have these conversations, back and forth
Oh,
about
that's good. Yeah, this is why we do
like,
this so we
yeah,
can market each other.
yeah.
That's all it is
Hmm.
just telling
Come
people what we do.
network and tell them about, hey, we out here. This is what we do. This is what we got.
Hmm.
Sweet,
Yeah.
sweet.
I do
Um,
want to ask, are there any new merch or specials that people can check out? Got any deals?
yeah. Yeah, so I know that the dates are on there. It says that my pre-order window sales have ended on Wednesday. But please continue to check it out and yeah, put in your order. It'll just come at a later date. I'm hoping to get in more stock so that if there's interested people that want to order, I will have those. And I'm trying to come up with some summer designs,
Nice.
and hopefully to get that out. I have a lot more ideas, a lot more, designs that I want people to rep. And I'm also trying to put into stores as well. Some here locally in Washington, maybe in Palau someday. That's
Yeah.
like, one of my goals. That something that's very more localized and, you know, um, rooted in our tradition. So,
It's good.
those are my hopes. Those are my hopes. But continue, please check out the website, and see what you like. Really check out my stickers. I haven't been promoting my stickers, and I should.
Yeah,
They're high. These are only $5. These are really cheap, but very high quality material. Like if you put on your car and it rains or snows, I have one that's been on for 2 years and it hasn't like withered
Nice.
away.
looks new.
Um,
What design do
yeah.
you have available for the stickers?
Oh, I think I have maybe 14, 10 varieties. So I have all seven of the stickers. I have Messigu, the Dugong,
Oh, I haven't seen
Oh,
that.
that's
um,
great.
and then I have the other O Iowa. So this is O Iowa as well, the one that
Oh,
the bird.
yeah.
For
Nice.
my Peleliu fam, I have the
Hey,
Balal, uh,
Nice.
and then
that's
the well. So those are the seven that I
nice.
have, but I also have like a funny one, a chocobo one. Uh,
I gotta check that out.
um, check that one out. I have my logo, the steering wheel logo, and then I also have uh, this one, but in holographic form, and it's bigger. That says Pli'i Bella on the bottom with this one.
Nice.
So if you guys want to just check it out, my stickers are available for sale. I have those in stock. And if you guys live in the US, you'll get those in like maybe 3 days. In Palau, probably like a week or two.
Okay.
But
Sure.
yeah, check it out.
Omarang.com, guys. You can check them
Make
out.
sure you go grab them, and he
Yes.
got me stock. So as soon as you place the order, it's coming straight to you. So you ain't even
Got
gotta
you.
yeah.
What? Okay, so we are up at 11:02 right now. But I
Oh,
just want to ask a couple more questions before we close
yeah,
it
yeah,
up for the night. But we definitely want to keep in touch, and next time out there, we'll hit you up when we're planning to move or to head out there for an event or something, and we'll link up for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But yeah, let's continue to keep in touch, and when you have something that's dropping or you want to promote, send it our
Yeah,
way,
let
and
us
we'll
know.
we'll blast it as well. We're all about that,
Mm-hmm.
send
I
to all
appreciate it.
Any
Thank
cousins,
you.
flyers or
stuff like
whatever,
that. Blast it
send
as
it.
well.
Send it.
But what three tools does one need to become a counselor? I want to go back
Yeah,
on that
yeah,
one because that's one you do
You need more.
mainly, and yeah, it's
yeah,
very impactful and very necessary for our community. So
yeah.
if
Hmm.
somebody wanted to become a counselor as well, whether it's for middle school, high school, or college,
Hmm.
uh, what three tools would they need? Because I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Like, what is your self care process? Like, obviously, you said a massage. But how do you get yourself going every day? Like, I gotta get
Yeah,
to these
yeah,
300, 400 kids.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, I think the first word that came into my head and hearing you ask the question was compassion. Um, I think to be a counselor, you have to have a lot of compassion for your students, and that can be pretty heavy.
Yeah.
But by having compassion, you're able to, come down onto their level and be with them and be present with them because that's what they need. Sometimes they're like in this hole by themselves, and so you're having to turn the light on and climb down with them and just be with them and see where they want to go, and eventually trying to lead them, help them make the decision of themselves to go back up,
Right.
into the light. So compassion is definitely a huge one.
Mm-hmm.
Empathy is another one. Try, like, even if you don't understand, your student or someone else, just being very empathetic with them. Like, I'm trying to understand, what they're going through or feeling, but you will never understand, people in their entirety, right?
Right.
But the fact that your intention or your desire is to, just be connecting, be very empathetic,
Mm-hmm.
um, and saying, hey, I hear you, or just regurgitating what they're saying. Um, and what would be my third one? Um, Multitasking.
Gotta be able.
Oh man, I mean, there's so many things as a counselor that I do on the daily. Like, I'm on the computer, I'm answering emails, I'm filling out documents, I'm meeting with a student, I'm supervising, I'm
Arayat.
running down the hall to another student.
Also, counselor's
Uh, I'm
A.
in I'm in a meeting with the principal. I'm in a meeting with some teachers. I stay after school for meetings for students with SPED. Like, I go back and forth. Um,
Real.
and if you're the type of person that enjoys that, then being a counselor is the profession for you.
Okay.
Um, but you're having to juggle and multitask so many different things,
Mm-hmm.
and so being very organized,
Mm,
and writing down your meetings,
that's
and
key.
because, like, you're gonna forget. I forget all the time, and so I have to write things down and to
Yeah.
memorize, because I'm dealing with students. I'm dealing with my own personal life, so that can get really
Kind of
tricky at
compartmentalize
times.
or something like
Right.
for each of the different.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
lot. I was just thinking about the 300, 400 students, and then you mentioned the A, B's, and
On
C's.
top
I
of
was like,
that,
oh, shoot,
Yeah.
do that too.
That's the life of a school counselor. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a very rewarding career. I've had great school counselors when I was in high school,
mm,
and they
they help
inspired
a
me
lot.
to be where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I even found out like, you know, I have some aunties and uncles who were educators back in the day. You know, and I'm like, okay, so is it in my blood? Is it like, you know,
Right.
just something, you know, that is natural inside of me? That's why I chose this career, or it chose me. I don't
It
know.
chose
Like,
you. It chose you. Yeah. Just by meeting you today and like getting to know you, it chose you, bro. It chose you. You definitely got a heart for it.
Yeah.
For
Even just
sure.
sharing about how you came about your, your designs, like just wanting to put out that work and
Mm-hmm.
choosing your name for your business. It's like it's
mm,
all
Thought you thought about it.
yeah.
Put some thought into it.
And also one more other thing. I know you said three, but just one more thing. Just be yourself. You know, I think everyone, we're still trying to learn about ourselves and who we are.
right.
But I hope that you don't have to like be like me or somebody else, you know, in my profession or whatever. You know, I had to really understand like what does that mean for me.
Right.
You know, I do my own unique thing, and you know, I learned how to love it. I grew to love it.
Yep.
Um, you know, so I've been able to like incorporate my personality and my, you know, what I've learned from my profession, and mix them together
Mm-hmm.
and create my whole unique way of school counseling, and working with kids.
Right.
You know, so if you're all out there looking at me or looking at, you know, 680 and everyone else, like, yeah, be inspired, but like also find something
What you
Your
that's
own lane,
yeah,
pertinent to
your
you,
own
you know,
voice.
and
tap in what
yeah,
makes you happy and where you feel most
right.
comfortable because that's what
Hmm.
it's about. You got to be
Mm-hmm.
comfortable.
Yeah, and if also if you guys are interested, if anyone on this call, you know, if you're a Palauan or Pacific Islander and you've been thinking about a career in education, you know, becoming a teacher or a school counselor, you know, please hit me up. You know, message me. We can get on a video call and I can like tell you like my journey in becoming a
Nice.
school counselor, because we need more of you, especially
Yeah.
talking to my brothers. You know, who, you know, if you're thinking about education, please like talk to me. I want to
Step
talk to
in.
Mm-hmm.
you.
Yeah.
There's not enough of us out there, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and there's so many of our male students who are falling through the cracks that do not have a lot of
Yeah.
men in their life, fathers in their life, and
Right.
you know, you're kind of that pseudo father figure at in the school, and we need more. You know, Pacific Islander males, male of colors, to be educators.
That's
Like I
real.
said
Yeah.
earlier,
Real,
I'm one
real.
of the very few male educators out there. You know, and I really want to encourage my brothers to step up. You know,
Right.
you know, you're needed. You'll always have a job. I guarantee you. Once you get into the field, they want you. They'll snag you because you're a guy. I mean, you're going to be a man with a lot of background experience and, you know, and knowledge.
Life. You
But
know, some
yeah,
life skills.
exactly. So just please reach out to me. I would love to talk to you, you know, and talk to you about some like school counseling programs out there, you know, the path to go to get there. You know, it's going to be a long road, but it's definitely worth it. I'm living my dream. You know, I'm really enjoying it. I love it. Yeah, it's stressful. Yes, there's some parts of my job that I just really hate,
Right.
but
Like, why am I?
everything else works. But
And then
working with
you realize
kids,
that's why, because it's the kids like
yeah,
being there.
our kids are worth it. They're deserving. You know, I love them so much, and you know, I cannot see myself in any other like career. You know, so if that's you, you know, if you feel that, you know, like come talk to me. Let's talk. You
Mhm.
know,
For sure. Can you drop your social medias one last time where they can find
Website.
you on all social medias and also your website?
yeah, for sure, for sure. I'll be dropping that in the comments. Um, Omarong20 on IG. Or you can just type in Omarang on Facebook. I usually don't get a lot of traction with Facebook, but if y'all, you know, just go to Omarang, just type it how it is. You'll be able to find it. Go ahead and follow me on there. And then visit omarang.com. Check it out. I'm still trying to build it and make it more user friendly. I'm hoping to like add blogs on there too. It's a
Nice.
work in progress.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Um, you know, and more products in the future. So really check that out. Um, or just like hit me up and say hi. I really just enjoy like a simple hi and hey, what's up?
Yeah.
If you find out we're related, I love that too.
Yeah, you gotta fact
Because
check that one. He's also from Ongeu.
I know. So
oh
Likely.
no, we're probably related anyways.
yeah. Hey, everybody's related to us because if we from there, we started everything.
Oh, yo,
Wow.
it's the land of the origin, right? That's where we robbed
Right.
us from.
Yeah. No, wala lang, Baloo.
Oh, what you say?
No, that's dope.
um,
That's dope. I love it, and I love doing this because like eventually we're meeting everybody, and then we find out we're all related some way. Now
uh,
we make working with each other even easier.
it's,
So
Put on
yeah, that
focus.
for real.
that master family jungle tree.
Yeah.
Right? Man, thank you so much. Before we close out, do you want to just shout out anybody, family, friends, mentors?
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Mara, the Makamadalak, like, growing up or raising us here in America, like in the beginning was so tough and, like not being able to make much money and get to do a lot of things, but they did sacrifice a lot. And those sacrifices, have led me to be who I am and just kind of step out there and be free. And, like they've done a lot. And here I am right now being able to like speak publicly and, and,
Right.
and go to school and have a profession. So just really shout out to them. Shout out to my big families out there who is watching this. Auntie Tina and all my aunties and uncles out in Palau, my cousins, um, my coworkers are on this call. Just all of y'all just have really contributed to who I am. And I am just so thankful. I can never be thankful enough or grateful for this opportunity. So anything that I do, like you guys are on my back, I'm carrying you guys with me anywhere I go or what I do. This is reflected back to you. And also just praise and thanks to God. Just really very humbled and blessed to be where I'm at. All glory to Him. Um, so yeah, thank you guys.
For sure.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. It's been a pleasure, man, and I can't wait for our next talk and even just to meet in person. We're doing all of our
Soon. Meet up
vendors
Seattle
at the
soon.
next event,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of TTalks with your girl Keeks
Have fun.
and Ongeu from Omarang.com. Make sure you check him out
Hey.
on all social media and his website, Omarang.com, yo. Thank you
Yeah.
guys. And tune in next week for another one. We'll see you, bro.
Tune back in.
All right. Take care, y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
Alrighty, fams. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're gonna tune in later on, we did mention about the graduation giveaway. The deadline is extended to the end of June. So yeah, if you're graduating from, like we said, if you're graduating this 2021, doesn't matter what grade in school you're graduating from, whether it's promoting from 8th grade, freshman, senior of high school or college, or Head Start. Send in your artwork. DM us on IG. You can DM 680 MVMT IG, or you can DM any of the sponsors. Check out our flyer. It's on our timeline. Yeah, we're gonna be having a competition where you can just hop on the live, show us your artwork, tell us what the other bella means to you, and the top 5 voted by the audience will get a prize from our sponsors. All right. Thanks, guys. See ya.